So you finally decided to declutter. Maybe you even held a little mini family meeting. You got your family on board, your partner, maybe you even hit up your mom. And then this happens. You look around your space and you compare your home to what your perfect home should look like. You pause and you go, FML. Unless I blow up this entire house and rebuild it from scratch, it is never going to look like this. So your motivation and your momentum dies instantly and you give up before you even start. Leave a comment, let me know if you've ever felt this way. If this sounds like you, let's chat and reassess your expectation to get you that clutter-free home that you desire. Welcome back to my channel. I am Margot, a professional organizer helping women like you declutter, organize, and maintain a clutter-free home so you can eliminate stress, anxiety, and the feeling of overwhelm, and instead have a space of peace and productivity. If this sounds like something you want to get into on a weekly basis, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. To connect with awesome women who are also on their decluttering journey, as well as to access cool content and live streams, join my Facebook group. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. It is so common to get wrapped up in pretty images and gorgeous organization. And if you are someone who has been struggling to declutter and keep a clutter-free home, it can be extremely demotivating when you compare your space to those of others. We are bombarded with images on TikTok, on Instagram, Pinterest, and those are all great for inspiration, but they can also be super intimidating. One of the biggest things that I see in the industry is that a lot of people give up before they actually even start. For me, the #1 rule of decluttering is to start. I urge you to stop comparing your homes to others. Stop focusing on how well organized other people's pantries and refrigerators are, and focus on your own space, which has the potential to be awesome. Something important to note, always declutter first, then organize. When starting to declutter, remove the easiest things first, and this can be done via your 60-second purge. Walk around your home and grab a few boxes and bags and quickly eliminate items you don't need. These are things that are in plain view, nothing hidden, nothing you have to bend down for, out and about screaming, I am clutter. Next, you want to move on to tossing large items. Nothing creates huge impact when we're talking about a clutter-free space than getting rid of huge, bulky items first. When you eliminate, for example, bulky furniture that you don't use or maybe that is broken, it automatically makes your space look more spacious. So maybe you have a chair that nobody sits on. Maybe the leg is not exactly sturdy. Maybe you have an old dingy couch, an end table that you don't use. Get rid of it. Once you've eliminated the surface clutter, and surface clutter is typically something that makes our homes appear more cluttered than it is, eliminating surface clutter and then following that up by eliminating sort of these big pieces in our space will automatically start to build momentum and motivation that, guess what, a clutter-free home is possible. Next, you want to move on to your closet. And here you want to get rid of things that you don't wear. Now, there are a number of ways to declutter a closet. You can do my favorite, which is the clothing dump. And what you would do here is you would collect all of your clothes, you would dump it on a couch, a floor, your bed, and then you would essentially go through each and every item. And if you haven't worn the item in the last year or so, if this item hasn't been in the laundry recently, you would either donate it, sell it, or throw it out. Now, when you're decluttering your closet, you want to make sure that you're staying true to who you are. What do you wear on a daily basis? Are you somebody that wears a lot of loungewear? Well, if you do, you might not need those 10 dresses that you have that have been hanging there for the last 10 years. I know another thing that we go through as women, and especially as moms, right? If we've had children, maybe our size has changed from, before we had kids. So oftentimes maybe we're holding on to clothing from before in the hopes of fitting into the clothing at a later time. Just be very realistic and kind of mindful. I think it's very motivating to kind of want to get back into shape. And I think that sometimes holding on to those items is what fuels us and what gives us that motivation. But how much of that wardrobe do you need? A good tip is, if you're not currently wearing the clothing, pack it up and either put it on top of your closet somewhere, or maybe put it in a bin underneath your bed. But it shouldn't be clouding your closet, because also what's happening is sometimes it's demoralizing because you're looking at the clothes you used to be able to fit in and you no longer do. And it kind of can negatively impact your self-esteem. So while I'm not necessarily encouraging you to get rid of the clothes, I do encourage you to only keep things in your closet, in your dresser drawers that you are wearing on a daily basis. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm a huge lover of wardrobe capsules. I also practice Project 333. So what that means is seasonally, I only rely on 33 items that I wear for 3 months. I've been doing this for quite some time, and I'm here to tell you that you really don't need more than 33 items. For more on Project 333, you can check out this video here. Another technique that I absolutely love, this is kind of more long-term for eliminating closet clutter, is if you have the opportunity, put a bin inside your closet. And every time you're getting ready, if you take out an item and you're like, I don't really want to wear this, instead of putting it back in your closet, dump it into that bin. And that is actually your decluttering bin. And eventually what you'll see is after a couple of weeks or a couple of months, that bin will fill up. And then you can take that clothes and you can either donate it, sell it, or throw it out. The idea behind a clutter-free closet is that you can essentially open the doors in the morning as you're getting dressed, and you can pull out any item and that item fits you. Ladies, you want to only keep feel good clothing. You don't want to hold on to clothes that don't fit right, okay? You want that confidence. You want to feel good. The better you feel, the more productive you are throughout the day, the happier you are throughout the day. So get rid of those shaming clothing. Get rid of that clothes that you just don't wear all the time and you keep shoving back in your closet. There's absolutely no reason for it to be there. Another wonderful closet tip is to rotate seasonal clothing. So instead of keeping all of your sweaters and your bathing suits and your tank tops in like one space, you rotate your clothing seasonally. So right now we're in the cold winter months, so only hold on to those items that you're currently wearing and maybe take your spring and your summer clothes. Again, I am a huge lover of under the bed bins. And if you're like me, I live in a small city apartment. I don't really have the luxury of an attic or a garage or a basement to store my clothing. I will actually vacuum seal the clothes that I don't wear, and I put it in a plastic bin and I toss it underneath my bed. If you're getting value from this video, contribute to my coffee addiction by smashing that like button. And let me know, is your closet overdue for a decluttering? Once you've started the decluttering process and you've built momentum, right? It's all about momentum. It's all about starting. A lot of people are like, how do I start? What do I start? What do I do? I don't have the necessary tools, or I don't have these pretty bins. You don't need that, okay? If you've ever watched that show on Netflix with Marie Kondo, her organization consists of shoe boxes. You do not need to invest in anything fancy right now. You just need to declutter your space. So once you've built up the momentum, once you've started decluttering, right, you're in the swing of things, you're getting that motivation, your house is starting to look good. Again, we are not comparing it to Pinterest homes yet, okay? We're not there yet, ladies. Once you've built that momentum, it's time to actually make a decluttering schedule. Now, I know that creating a schedule oftentimes overwhelms people. You know, time management and to-do list is like an art form and a skill in itself. So whenever I tell clients to create a to-do list, like, what are you trying to accomplish? They kind of get a little overwhelmed, right? And I understand that. You're going to be much more effective and efficient, and you're going to most importantly feel productive if you actually create a schedule and a list, and then you get the satisfaction of checking things off the list as you complete a task. So when it comes to creating a decluttering checklist, the simplest way to do it is you can either create a schedule where you're going by category or you're going by room. I find that it really depends on the person. I've tried both methods. For me, I prefer to go by room. I just feel more accomplished with each one of my spaces is complete. But again, you can go by category or you can go by room. And the way that you would create a schedule is you would realistically try to figure out, okay, well, how many minutes or hours can I dedicate to the decluttering process in a day or a week? So let's say maybe you can only dedicate 15 minutes a day. You would schedule a task that you can complete within 15 minutes. So maybe on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you're decluttering your pantry. Maybe on Thursday and Friday, you're decluttering the medicine cabinet in your bathroom. If you're someone who maybe can only dedicate, let's say, an hour to the decluttering process once a week, then you can pencil in decluttering your entryway this week, right, on a Sunday. You know, next week, maybe if you have another hour, you can declutter a few drawers in your kitchen. Cluttering schedule, for it to work, it has to fit you and it has to fit your lifestyle. So I know that sometimes we kind of want to be over ambitious, and I think that that's a wonderful thing, right? We have that momentum, we have that motivation, we want to declutter. But oftentimes what ends up happening is you kind of add too many things to your plate and you end up doing none of them. It's like saying you're going to go to the gym every single day for 2 hours a day and that doesn't happen. And because you're not going every single day, or that first day that you miss, you just stop going completely. You know, any kind of to-do list, any kind of goal, any kind of schedule has to be realistic. And if it's going to take you 3 months to declutter, 6 months to declutter your entire home, a year to declutter your entire home, that is absolutely fine. But make sure that your schedule caters to you and your lifestyle. If you need help on what to declutter in each and every room, you can grab my free Ultimate Mom's Decluttering Guide. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Another great option, if you're really trying to kind of assess where to start your decluttering journey in your home, is to identify areas in your space that drive you nuts. So these are the areas that are like eyesores that whenever you walk by them, maybe it's your dining room table, the clutter is just visual and it's like ambushing you and it's giving you stress and anxiety. Maybe it's like your office, you don't even want to go in there. Your desk, whatever. Oftentimes it's our kitchens or our bathrooms. You know, a lot of times it's these really high traffic areas that we see every single day. As moms, it's probably our kids' rooms. So you're gonna identify those areas of like visual, oh my God, this drives me nuts, clutter. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna write them down on a piece of paper or on your cell phone, and then you're gonna rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being, oh my God, this really needs to be decluttered because it's driving me absolutely nuts. And then 2, 3, 4, 5 is kind of like, oh, okay, maybe it'll kind of wait until whenever I have time, right? So that creates this kind of visual perspective, and it's really also good because then you can prioritize that on your decluttering checklist. And once you do that, you can then start tackling all of your 1s, followed by all of your 2s, your 3s, your 4s, and your 5s. And you're gonna see that the decluttering process, number 1, is gonna be extremely strategic. So you're gonna know exactly what it is that you're doing and when, but you're just gonna watch the clutter completely diminish. Remember, the most important thing to consider is to just start. And the truth is your home will take time to look fantastic, and it will take even longer to keep clutter-free, because it really is all about the mindset. The people whose homes you see on social media that are like absolutely perfect, most often that took time. And it wasn't only about decluttering their space, it was more so about developing clutter-free habits. So these are people who are extremely conscious of what they bring back into their home. For this, I love the 1 in, 1 out rule. Actually, it's even better if it's like 1 in, 2 out. So every time you purchase a new mug, you throw out an old one. So folks who have these perfect clutter-free homes, they're very mindful about what they bring into their space. They only purchase things that they actually do need. You know, my space is clutter-free because I also take care of the things that I already have. So for example, what I see a lot is maybe your tea kettle kind of looks gross and dingy. And instead of cleaning it, you go out and you purchase a new one. And to make things even worse, you hold on to the dirty, gross tea kettle for like an emergency purpose, like in case the new one that you bought breaks, and like that just blows my mind. Just get rid of it, you know, recycle it. But more often than not, you all purchased items that are currently in your space because they were beautiful, because you love them, take care of them. Clean them, right? They require maintenance. So oftentimes you don't need to go out and purchase something new. You can just take care of something that you already have. Another reason why a lot of folks are able to maintain a clutter-free home is a very, very simple habit. And it's the habit of tidying up. People who maintain a clutter-free space tidy up before they leave a room. If you just only adapt this one habit, your home will be stunning and clean and clutter-free all the time. So if you are in the kitchen and you made a meal, clean up before you leave the kitchen. A lot of times we let things pile up. We let, you know, the grime and the dirt and the oil sit on top of the stove. And as you all know, the longer it sits, the harder it is to get off. Same thing, we allow the dishes to pile up. Same concept. There's more and more and more of it. Right now it's going to take you longer to clean it up. So you have a meal, clean up, wash the dishes, dry them, put them away. If you can, get your kids or your partner to help out. I think that engaging and involving children in maintaining a clutter-free space is a wonderful habit. Oftentimes what we see in the field is that, let's say, mom will take on this clutter-free mindset. However, there are other members in the household that have not yet kind of caught up to that. And as a result, they will actually continue to contribute to a lot of the clutter. So there's really a lot that goes into maintaining a clutter-free home. But I really think that being mindful of your purchases and having the habit of tidying up, you know, not leaving a cup in the living room where it doesn't belong, but instead bringing it to the kitchen, putting it in the sink. When you brush your teeth in the morning and there's kind of toothpaste all over the sink, I don't know, my daughter constantly ambushes the sink with toothpaste. It's like insane. I don't understand why. Wiping it down instead of letting it sit there. Again, a lot of these tiny little practices maintain your clutter-free home, number one. And number two, they save you time on cleaning. The reality is the more stuff you have, the more it requires of you to maintain it, to clean it, to take care of it. So less is more. You absolutely can have a clutter-free home if you stop comparing your home to others. Start decluttering. Eliminate all those unnecessary items from your space. Then organize it. Then post it on Pinterest. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. As always, good luck on your decluttering journey, and always remember to be good to yourselves.